A lot of reverb on that spot. Hi, folks. Welcome back to Heard on the X, the East Coast premier music talk show. This segment of the show is brought to you by Hamburg Motors. Hamburg Motors' new No Money Down through the rest of this month. So it's ending soon. Get over there and get a car. I'd get a car.
Jim, get a car, because your minivan is not cool.
Exactly.
I like that. Swagger wagon. I like that.
Please. Okay, we're joined by Shawn McQuiller right now, who is the singer for Kool and the Gang the last 20 years, and he was just telling us the absolute coolest story I've ever heard, which he's like, I don't even want to get into this on the air. And I'm like, oh, no way. We're getting into this on the air. You got to tell, if you want to tell a Reader's Digest version of it, but just tell us this whole thing.
I'll try to cut it down. So, in Singapore with an opening act for Kool and the Gang. Our group, Traffic Jam, we do 3 sets a night, and I lead one song in each set.
So you lead sing one song, and your lovely wife is the singer of the band.
Right, she sing, and another gentleman from Lackawanna.
So one song per set, you sing.
I sing lead.
And your wife just told me that you are you're a great guitar player, and that's what you concentrate on.
That's my love, being a guitarist. And I did the one song, and I come off the stage in the back, and when I get to the bottom of the steps, their manager is standing right there. He said, "Wow, I enjoyed watching you out there. He said you sound good, and I enjoyed your energy." He said, "What you doing tomorrow?" He said, "Well, here's my card, and here's where I'm staying. And if you have some time, I would love for you to stop by, because I want to talk to you about a few things." So the next day, I go over to the hotel. I go to his room, and we start talking. And he said, "You know, I was checking you out last night, and the guys was checking you out as well. And they want to try you out." And I said, "Wow, I would love the opportunity to play guitar for Kool and the Gang and play with Charles."
Yeah.
Charles was the original guitarist. He passed away a few years ago. And he said, no, that's not what we had in mind. We want you to sing lead." And I said, "Sing lead for who?" And he said, "We want you to sing lead for Kool and the Gang." And I said, "I can't see that." He said, "Well, I'm in the business of seeing things that other people can't see."
So you're thinking that you're going to get a try on a guitar.
That's what I'm thinking.
And now from one song a night. Wow, or one song a set. So 3 songs a night. That's amazing. I mean, amazing. So then tell me the rest of the story now.
So no sooner I step out of his hotel room, I kind of blew it off because it just didn't seem real to me. So a month later, I'm still in Singapore. He calls me from Germany. He said, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm doing great." He said, "So how are you making out with the songs?" I said, "I'm making out great." At that point, I hadn't learned anything. So I ran out, and I got a double CD collection of all Kool and the Gang's greatest hits. Got everything. And I started learning everything. So another month went by, and at this time, I've made it back to Buffalo, made it back to Lackawanna. And he calls me again. He said, "Hey, I see you made it back in town." I said, "Yeah." He said, "So how's it going?" I said, "Everything's going good." He said, "What you doing tonight?" I said, "Well, nothing really." He said, "That's great." He said, "Because we got a show tonight, and we don't have a singer. I need you to fly to New York and do the show." What was going on at that time, the troops were getting back from the Persian Gulf War.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Okay.
USO tour.
And they were having a big celebration on the ship up in New York called the Intrepid. And what was going on was that traffic was so heavy that to get me there, it would have taken too long. So what they had to do, once I flew into New York, they had to then put me in a helicopter. And then
Yeah, but wait. Let's go back just a little bit, because that's going to be nerve-wracking too, though. Because there's something that you told me that is just great, and it shows everybody that when the shot comes, everybody gets nervous.
Oh no. And true. Getting back to that, when he called me, he said, "I'm going to call you back and give you the details of your flight and everything." And I went into an all-out panic. I truly did.
You almost didn't do it.
So when he called back, each time he called back, I wouldn't even answer the phone.
No kidding.
And then I finally broke down and answered. He said, I've been trying to get in touch with you. Where you been?" And I said, "I don't think I can do this." And he said, "I tell you what, you're gonna do it." He said, "You promised me that." He said, "You told me that you were gonna do it, and I told the guys you were coming down, and we're expecting you." He said, "So I need you to get your ass to the airport and get on that flight." And that's what happened.
So then now you're nervous, you're scared.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, and now you can't get there because the traffic. Did they really bring you
No,
in a helicopter?
and there's no rehearsal.
Oh my
No rehearsal.
None.
So
Trial
I
by
get there.
fire.
I get there, we can't drive anywhere, so they knew that already. So I get there, I leave the plane and go over to another area, and now I'm up in a helicopter, which was not the most comfortable ride to be in.
That'd be awful.
And now I'm flying, and they're getting ready to drop me down on the ship now, and all these people are standing there like, wow, I wonder who this is in the helicopter. Everybody's coming around, and then they're all set to see some superstar get out this helicopter. And then I land and I step out and they say, oh,
maybe it's Bono. Maybe it's Stevie Wonder.
Exactly.
Oh, Shawn.
And then I land, I step out the helicopter and they're like, it's nobody. Everybody scatters. But then I go in the dressing room and I can hear all the guys talking inside the dressing room. And I'm nervous and I knock on the door and I walk in and everybody turns around and they look at me and then they just go back to talking. So I'm standing there. And the drummer at that time, he comes up to me because I spoke to him a few times while we were in Singapore. And he's trying to make me comfortable. And then the original saxophone player, his name is Dennis Thomas, plays alto sax. He comes up to me and says, this is the show. And you're singing all of this. And hits me on the back and says, have a good show.
Wow.
And then I go out there, and I said, worst case scenario, it still goes on the resume.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, it's your last show, right?
Yeah, so and that's how it started. And then after that show, they said, you did a great job, and we'll be calling you. And I didn't hear from them for another month.
Yeah. Oh, so that didn't even had to make you nervous because I thought, I
right.
this.
So I figure I was was forgotten in the whole thing.
How do you feel you did? Just out of curiosity, I mean, just your own critique of yourself. That one show.
I thought I did okay when you're talking no rehearsals.
Yeah, I mean,
and just going over a couple of things when I get there, a couple of routines.
Did you even get a sound check or anything or nothing? You didn't get nothing?
No sound check.
Oh my God, they just treated you terrible.
Because it was already going on. So it was other acts that were
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm just there, it's like, hey, bring some pants with you, and we got a shirt for you when you get here. It was that kind of thing.
I mean, not only are you nerve-wracked that this is your first show,
Yeah.
But, they're flying you in on a helicopter. I mean,
Plus, how about this? Not only is he nervous, but I mean, I'm a musician too. It's a festival type thing. You're saying. I mean, it's multiple acts.
Right.
So now you got other acts and everything else, and it's like, man, you got all these reasons to be nervous.
Right.
It's
And
amazing
there's
story.
other professional acts that were going on. So, it was I got the videotape buried at the house somewhere.
Oh, yeah?
When I did it, yeah.
So that's probably 91, right? 91.
It was 91.
Yeah,
it was 91.
Persian Gulf, yeah.
Yeah, and the whole thing was crazy. So I left, and they said, did a great job, and we'll be calling you. And another month went by, I didn't hear anything. And they called me out the blue again. And from that point on, they just kept me out on the road. And
were they like, we need you in California?
No, they gave me a better heads up on the next one. It's actually a town called Pueblo, Colorado.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's where it was. Went out there, and from that point on, I just kept rolling with them. So I've been rolling with them ever since.
That's an awesome story.
That's a great story. I mean, it's just a great story.
It's a crazy story.
It made us nerve-wracking at the time, but...
What were you saying to him through all this? I mean, because he probably had to be disappointed a little bit, right?
Yeah, but he kept blowing it off because he was like, nah, it's not really a big deal. And I'm like, well, you just need to go forward with it. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go and see what it's going to do. But, then we're going to go to Montreal. And I'm like, how?
Because you guys are still playing together.
Yeah.
At the time, yeah.
So you have dates to fulfill with.
And at the time, with the group we had, things seemed so promising at that time.
Right.
Because we wanted our own record deal. Right. I'm in my own band and we're doing our own music. So that's what we all want to do. So, but Kool and the Gang was knocking right there, and
it was
with the other situation, you're hoping, but things just wasn't moving.
Right.
So I felt like opportunity had presented itself, and I need to jump on it, and that's what I did.
Originally, when you first started working with Kool and the Gang, were you thinking that maybe this would be something I'll do for a little while, then I'm, still try to launch my own career, and it just turned out to be something that was just a good fit? I mean, how did
it's been a great fit for me. I guess for me, I never thought of myself as a solo artist. I came up playing in bands my whole career, so that was a perfect fit for me because that's what Kool and the Gang has always been. It's about being a band, the rhythm section, the horn section, everybody sings, so that was perfect. for
Right,
me.
right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of my favorite part of that story, and I don't know which one it is. Is it the fact that you thought you were going to be the guitar player, or the fact, like every other musician in the world, every musician would do this? Yeah, I'll learn your stuff and not learn anything.
And I didn't learn it because I couldn't believe it. It didn't seem
Right,
real
exactly.
to me. So when he called back, I said, well, let me just prepare myself just in case. So prepared I was, but a couple of rehearsals would have been nice too.
Were you prepared enough? I mean, did they have teleprompters with the lyrics on?
No,
So you just had to, you knew all the lyrics?
I knew all the lyrics.
Man, oh man.
I had prepared myself so well that I don't think there was any song they could have named that I wouldn't have been able to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you deserve a lot of credit for that.
I tried to know everything.
That's a giant catalog too, really, if you think about it.
So I was pretty prepared at the time.
And going back to the original part of the story, you are a great guitar player, and I've known you for a little while, and I've done some work on some of your guitars, and I got to say that I'm very proud and happy that you're the newest EVH endorser. Chris Cannell and I have been texting back and forth. You and I have been talking a little bit
Right,
about it,
right.
and you had multiple people that wanted to get you on as an endorser.
Right.
So when you go on this tour, you're going to be playing Wolfgang specials and the new 50-watt amp. Is that what you're going to be playing with the 212?
I believe so.
Yeah,
That
that's
sounds
congratulations,
great.
man.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm-
And I thank you for being part of the whole thing as well.
I'm glad I could make it happen for you, man. I mean, and it's funny because I tell people I wanted to call you to congratulate you, and then you had said you hadn't been in a while. We complain about the TSA in this all the time, and you had said you were doing fly dates and you're just getting hassled at airports about
and I got to the point I wouldn't even carry guitars anymore. It was a lot easier just to have a couple of strats on the rider.
Yeah.
And they're there when I get there, as opposed to dealing with TSA, the flight attendants, everything.
I know exactly. You
So-
can't put it overhead. You can't put it here. And it's brutal.
And
It's
then
just,
they want you to check it.
yeah, which is it'll end up broke, for
And
sure.
they're not going to reimburse you for it.
Well, I mean, and especially with, and once again, going back to this TSA thing, I just came back from California, my luggage got destroyed. There's no recourse with these guys. They can go through your stuff, they can take it, they can do
take
it,
it,
do whatever you want. There's no-
Sometimes they're back there, they're standing on top of it. I've witnessed that before.
Oh, it's brutal. So Shawn tells me that he's, I'm going to stop in because we're doing some traveling dates by bus, and I'm going to get my guitar set up. And I'm like, why are you going to do that? And he goes, well, I got to get my guitars worked on. I said, well, why don't you get endorsed by somebody?
Yeah.
So we were able to call. I told you if we made 4 calls, I would be highly surprised if at least 2 didn't come back. 4 out of 4.
Yeah,
there
4
are
out of 4.
people fighting for you.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And as great as that is, I still want to believe in the product. I don't want to just take the product. I want it to be something that I'm going to play. I don't want to just have it because it was offered to me.
Yeah, I know you're going to be really super happy with this stuff.
I'm sure I will.
It's
I'm sure I will.
absolutely fantastic stuff. We have to head to a commercial break. I wish we had more time to talk. You're going to be so busy. Is there every once in a while? Can I get you on the phone? When you're on tour, and just do an update with us. Tell us what's going on.
And I'm leaving out on the 2nd. I'll be back on the 12th of February. I'll be home for 4 days. I'll leave back out on the 16th.
Oh, maybe we can get him back in over that time. Maybe we can, because you had told me that you're doing a joint rehearsal with him, which that's bizarre. I think it's a little bizarre.
Yeah, that's different. Starting February 6th, we're going to be out in LA. We're going to rehearse, I think, 2 days, the 6th and the 7th. We're going to run through the whole show.
Okay.
And I think the 8th, we're going to do a show together that's open to family, friends, and the press, media, everybody that's going to come through.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at that scale of show, it's probably not that bizarre to run the whole thing. But
So I think that's great.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Definitely better than the way you got into Kool.
Exactly.
A little bit more prepared.
And then, on the 16th, we're going to rehearse 2 days in Louisville before we do opening night on the 18th.
And then you just roll straight through till June. You guys.
Yeah, a couple of breaks here and there.
Well, and then they got their own dates too, because you guys do a lot of stuff out of the country, and there's there's a lot of stuff that Kool does that you just gotta do.
Right. The way this tour is going, we may still have some one-offs here and there. I don't think we're going to be doing anything internationally though.
No.
With the way the Van Halen tour is set up. So
And you're gonna be doing 51 dates. Is that what it is?
I think 52.
52.
Yeah.
That's a lot of dates. And
Yeah.
so, are they gonna be in place of your regular 100, or are they it's on top of?
On top of.
152 you're gonna do.
They'll
Because you
probably
still-
be in place of. I mean, I don't think we're going to be able to squeeze. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll wait and see what's going to happen after June. if we're gonna then be out doing dates on our own, or who knows, they may extend the tour and we may take it someplace else.
Right, that's what
So,
we do.
Yeah, that's great. I am so happy for you, and I just love the way things happen in your life. I think it's wonderful.
Thank you so much. You
Yeah.
know, I've been blessed in this music game, and with so much talent in our area, Lackawanna, Buffalo, just in this area, and so much talent that's overlooked is hard in this area. Sometimes you just have to get out of here to.
We've done multiple shows and the level of talent that's in this area. It's
Oh
just
my God.
unbelievable. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
Awesome.
We have to head to a commercial break. When he comes back in February, Jimmy, I want that Barry White EQ on my mic too. Because I sound like a little girl next to him. He's
No,
got the
see.
coolest voice in the world.
This sound right now, this is my under the weather sound.
Yeah.
He's even
I'll
sick.
go up a little higher with this sound. That's a little better.
All right, we're gonna take a break. Thank you so